Welcome to Meaningful Morning. Please relax the body, enjoy the breath, close your eyes, and pray. In our community, a seeker, her name is Pravina. In our community, a seeker, her name is Shito. Their relatives are not doing well. Think about Pravina's relative. Think about Shito's relative. Give your physical strength and mental strength to them. Te mai santu, te mai santu. May all the strength needed to be infinity reside in all, be established in all. In chapter 11, we came across one of the most potent words in the Bhagavad Gita, stane. And this was defined as all is as all is. Everyone remembers this. I'm going to deepen this for you now. All is, comma, as all is. Sharing that one more time. All is relative. You, me, etc. As all, that's absolute, is. The implication I'm trying to share with you is our experience of the relative, like you and I, is actually factually one of being absolute, oneness. And if you can feel this, you will be free. By show of hands, how many of you have any idea what I'm talking about right now? Yeah, that's what I thought. For such absolute acceptance that all is. Vivek is not, Dhruv is not, Lavanya is not, but rather all is. Such absolute acceptance demands training. And that is what is emphasized in chapter 12. We navigated 25 values. Now chapter 13, a more definitive 20 values. When you live by these values, stane will go from relative acceptance to absolute acceptance. What does this training look like? Not LinkedIn training. We train so much and talk so much on LinkedIn about such training. This is about EQ, SQ. The 10th value, vairagya. In English, contentment. Sharing more insights on this. If you appreciate what you have, you stop looking around. If I'm happy with my laptop, I don't look at your laptop and then overthink that. Appreciation inhibits distraction. And even more deeply, vairagya is like viraga, which means not to live in such a way that you're doing this to be liked. Those who live to be liked, they're forced to be extroverts. And an extrovert constantly gets crushed. The introvert, and that's coming as one of the values, is one who's at the center of, let's say, a wheel. The hub never gets crushed, correct? It's that which is on the outside of the wheel, the tire, let's say, that gets crushed. This is what extroversion is. Number 11, anahankara, in English, surrender. The way we can practice this is to unlearn what we think knowledge is. We think knowledge is based on IQ, education, etc. To unlearn this, it's actually based on SQ. And it's not degree-based. It's your own personality. Number 12, anudarshana, in English, reflectiveness. To reflect, all that is changing will never complete you, your own body and everyone else's bodies. Who's an awesome example of this? Prince Siddhartha. He saw an old person, a dying person, a dead person, and an independent person. And Prince Siddhartha reflected on this, that this will be his own condition if he doesn't invest in himself. And he became Gautama Buddha, the one who awakened to his potential. Number 13, I'm rechanting this verse. Asakti anabhishvangaha putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. This is verse 9. Asaktihi, this is the 13th value. In English, independence. At the end of the month, I will be in Portland for our spiritual parenting retreat. I hope all of you will come too. This year, the theme is the vision of growth. The vision of growth. That first you're a parent to 1, then 2, then 3. Then you evolve to be a caregiver. Not just your own, but your own keeps growing. To the older generation, to the community, society, and so on. To be independent. And a way we can practice this is to be less insistent, to be less comfortable. Then your ownness stays small. I read an awesome billboard that shared, prevent food waste. Eat your roommate's leftovers. Prevent food waste. Eat your roommate's leftovers. There's a lot of you I know who would never do that. But if you're going to practice growth, to be less insistent, to be less demanding, it's just food. Think about the earth, not your comfort zone. Number 14, anabhishvanga. Sounds powerful, right? Anabhishvanga. In English, objectivity. Objectivity. Abhishvanga. Abhishvanga means intense. We have this intensity, this intense identification with our children, that's the younger generation, our spouse, that's the same generation, our home. I described the turtle. Anabhishvanga means don't be intense about this identification. These are relative. They're not going to make you feel absolute. And number 15, nityam means beyond context. Samachittatvam, for one's inner world to be balanced. Ishta, when what comes in your life is pleasant. Anishta, you didn't want this. Upapatishu, it comes towards you. Sama in English means balanced. Ways to bring this into our life. Number 1 is vairagya. Obviously, if you're not holding on to that which is changing so much, you're more balanced. Number 2 is vision. Puja Swami Tejomayananda shared, if you adopt the vision of karma, then all that happens to us, we deserve. Good happens to me, less good happens to me, I deserve this. There's actions, there's reactions. From the vision of bhakti, it is our Creator that is delighting through this sport, through this play. Think of a movie. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. That's what makes the movie. From the perspective, the vision of jnana, all that happens to us is for our development. This happened to me in a good, bad way for me to develop. How can one nurture balance? With the vision of I deserve this, the Creator is delighting, and for development, for overall development. We continue. Verse 10. Mai chananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratir jana samsadi. Joy. The 16th value is bhakti, in English, devotion. What kind of bhakti? Number 1, Mai means to Sri Krishna and all around Sri Krishna, which means the Gita, the Guru, the trust triangle. Avyabhicharini means without shifting, without stopping. Opening this up. How we can practice devotion. Another word for devotion is dedication. What comes with dedication is sacrifice. When you are not concerned about what you're sacrificing, that is a way to practice bhakti. But if your mind is on what you're sacrificing and you're calculating this, that's not bhakti. When you're not concerned about what you're sacrificing, you will feel more cheerful. That is a gauge of if you're nurturing bhakti, irrespective of context. For many, they feel cheerful in a controlled environment, but as soon as that's taken offline, commuting, working, interacting, that cheer goes away. It's a shifting bhakti. One more insight is, devotion is associated with quality. Whatever you're devoted to, offer quality, resources, time, effort. The more you offer quality, the more all you do will be of a higher quality. Like unitasking, that's a way of offering quality. Number 17, and I really like this value, vivikta, which means solitude, desha, space, sevitvam, resort to, be in a place, a space of solitude. Here it looks good that you can hear garbage trucks and trains and so and so on. This is only to make this experience more real for you. So vivikta means solitude. And what Puja Swami Tejomayananda shared in such powerful ways. He said the best facet of solitude is you are thrown on yourself. When you're with yourself, who do you have to look at? Who do you have to get to know? Scary. But it stops us from being an escapist. Remember I shared about cultural programs and mandir pujas? You're not asked to reflect on you. But here, every day, you hear me yelling at you, challenging you. But it's for you to get to know you. Who are you? You're Sri Krishna, not Prince Arjuna. But if you keep escaping, you will always feel you're the chapter 1 Prince Arjuna. The cracked one, not the content one. And number 18, aratihi means to have a dislike, a distaste. Janasamsadi, for the collection, the gathering of people. It means to not be interested in parties. Our English word for this is introversion. And I'll elaborate more tomorrow. But an introvert is one who is introspecting. They know they're more than their lifestyle, body, breath, mind, intellect, ego. And if you follow through with introspection, it leads to emancipation. Being free from inspiration to application. Your application from yesterday, I have forgotten this, it is to listen to the first episode of Parenting Culture through Live Vedanta. How many of you tried to find this? Good. See, the reason for this is not to be promotive of social media. If you're not practicing these values, it's because you don't understand them. So this podcast becomes another resource to help you understand, correct? To practice, to feel sthane. Your application for this morning, I want you to compare chapter 12 and 13, the 25 values, and thus far the 18 values, and see which ones are common between these chapters. One I've already given you is Sama. Sama was big in chapter 12. Here it's shared only once in chapter 13. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.